Hello. Welcome to For Flow with Chloe. Ooh, where the wind is trying to make me lose my page. So glad with the wind though, because it's blowing away this awful bank of cloud. It's been holding all this really muggy heat in the last couple of days. And like now the air is moving again. We can see the sun again, which is lovely. And also just like breath of fresh air, man. I'm a Gemini. I need fresh air. I need the lightness. But not when the wind is too strong, then I get a bit chaotic. Just gonna pull a reading today because I've got quite a lot of astrological shifts and news and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, energy is building. So look at all of this stuff going on today. I've circled it. We're on a half moon, so we might be at this point of like assessing. We're like a halfway point between the new moon and the full moon, and so it's like, how's it going? The moon is in Libra, and this is in an opposition. This moon in Libra, half moon, which is like extra kind of wanting to balance energy, find harmony, and be in right relationship to things and others. But then we've got it in opposition to Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries, the two big daddies. And so they want us to like, Saturn is like in Aries, it's like independence, take charge of my life. And then Neptune in Aries is like idealization. I've got the courage to break free of these chains. So quite a lot there. So I was like, that's some fun energy. A go-go. We also, on Friday, we've got a really calm day tomorrow. Look at that. Calmness. Sod all going on there. So I feel like we've got a lot going on. A day of pause. Like a day to like chill. And like the calm before a lot else goes on. And the lot else that goes on, all of this. So big day. This is the moon diary as well, by the way, by Astrocal. I get it every year, the moon diary. But it tells you in the diary like all of the shifts of the planets. So yeah, we have got Venus moving into Gemini, my sign, and then we have got opposition with Chiron, the moon, a moon in Scorpio transitioning into Scorpio opposition Chiron, interesting, and maybe some stuff coming up from the depths to heal on there. And we've got Venus playing around with Uranus as well. And we've got a square between the moon and Pluto. Oof, it's going to be an intense day. But on that same day that Venus moves into Gemini, Neptune goes retrograde. And it's going to be the first of a few big retrogrades. It's already moving conjunct with Saturn practically, they're like a degree apart. So they've been twinning it out of Pisces into Aries. They're going to start moving back into Pisces. That's going to be a big deal. A big deal. Anyway, I feel like I've blathered on a lot enough. We've got a Mercury retrograde coming up as well. Saturn retrograde. We've got a lot of retrogrades coming up in the next few weeks. But I promised a reading, so here's a reading. And let's see if any of this comes up. Instantly, on the bottom of the deck, when I take out the light seers, old favourite, is the Nine of Wands. Boundaries. And maybe feeling a little bit like we need to have our guard up because, like I said, maybe some things are going to be coming back for a revisitation of things we let go of around the end of March, because that is when Neptune shifted from the 29th degree of Pisces. So we're going back there, guys. We're going back to the 29th degree of Pisces. I'm not sure I'm quite ready for it yet. The end of March was a bit bleak for me. But it's going to be a force of like cleaning up what's still not quite let go of. Ooh, the light seers are getting a little bit... Come on, light seers. There we go. Ooh. And the release will pave a new way. It's in order to like cleanse you, free you up, let go of the things that aren't meant to you for you to put you on your new path. And doesn't want the tarot deck want to tell you that. Prospecting, looking out. We've got the fieriness, so moving out of Aries. We've had a taste of it in Aries. Now it's going back into its watery Pisces, of that final degree of it, to make us look at what we need to let go, to go back, for when we go back into Aries, which it will do, for I think the latter 2026 February, it will go back into Aries, and it'll be like there, like it'll just be there for like basically forever, a really long time. We also have the Five of Wands. Oh my god, it like blew it at the camera. I have retrieved it. So maybe you've been working hard and doing some teamwork to put out little battles, and maybe there's going to be things that... So in order to get this, you know, long view on where you want to go, and this refreshed inspiration of where you want to go, you are going to have to go back and look at some little battles, that maybe revisit some little battles that once were, and take a fresh perspective on them. And then, I mean, there's the Pisces, the Queen of Cups, going back into this watery depth, and using our intuition and tuning in to our more spiritual self to release. I mean, she looks in a pure state of release. She's in a state of bliss, like a meditative state of like, I see now what else I need to let go of. So I'm going to do three. I'm going to do three from the light seers, and then I'm going to go to our new deck, our lovely new unfolding path, because I feel like all of this planetary action is in order to unfold our new path. Oh, and I've pulled a card away by accident, just off the desk. Off the deck, with the guidebook. I meant to just take the guidebook, but it's given me a card with it, and the card is Justice. Libra. The moon is currently halfway, and in Libra, the scales half and half, balancing halfway point and in Libra, and we've got that sword to represent the sword of truth. And so, like I said, we're at an assessment point now. We're coming up to that full moon in Capricorn as well, which I pulled a reading for yesterday. But, you know, the big astrological talk I did at the beginning of this one will maybe help summarize some of what else came up in that reading, because once I came away from it, I was like, there's other stuff in the astrological things that maybe is appropriate to that reading. So go back and watch that one as well. It's in my playlists, my tarot readings playlist. It was it yesterday I did it, or the day before? Anyway, so Justice, a need to find balance and harmony, and assess what point we're at. The deck's split at this point, so I'm going to take that one out. And then we've got the Four of Pentacles, holding on too tight. It says it all on that card. So he's really holding on to his bags of money. It's quite Capricorn-y energy. But it's like not wanting to go back to scarcity. Like, he's come this far, he's got all this money now, you know, he doesn't want to go back to being, I don't know, sleeping on his mum's couch, like skin. Not saying that any of you are doing that, or he is directly, or ever was. But he's like, I've come so far from my mum's couch, I'm not going back there. But unfortunately we are going back to reevaluate things, because Neptune is going back into Pisces. And then we get the Hierophant. We need to go into our spirituality and ascend. And we cannot do that without releasing and going back and looking at that point of where we felt some sort of scarcity or burden, and we need to let go and know that we are going to a better place. We don't need to hold on to the past, to anything in fear. We need to get into that release state of this Queen of Cups. Woo! So, I think that's a really accurate summary already. Do I need to take any more? I'm going to pull one from this deck on that Five of Wands. What are these little battles that are coming up for keeps? What do you think? Unfolding path. What's going to unfold? The King of Pentacles. And this is that Capricorn full moon energy. So go, if you've not watched that video yet, go back and watch that as well. But it's also you know, Taurus and Virgo. It represents the earth signs. And the King of Pentacles is quite a chillax dude. Like, he's got there, he's made it. He's in his power, but in a very grounded, nurtured, secure way. Like, he's not egocentric. He's worked hard to get there, and he's like humble and just like, yeah, I've got the magic. So I feel like those little battles that are coming out on top of those little battles, and with this holding on beneath, it's like being confident and being secure that we can do the work and that the work will pay off. And we need to get to this centered, grounded place of true security without this fear of scarcity. That is what we need to clear out, and that is what the little battles are going to be. And the way we're going to do it is by dropping into our intuition, keeping our sights open, prospecting, trusting that there's a future ahead, a clear path, assessing, balancing, harmonizing. What is it I need to cut away to come back into balance? And then the Hierophant, our spiritual leader, drop into our spiritual guidance and trust it. And with Saturn and Neptune, both Big Daddy planets, having so much action of late, we are really, you know, that's quite like Hierophant energy, really. They're like the big energies of the universe. They're big, like rulership energy, and it's a big like spiritual journey we're on. I'm going to pull one more on the Hierophant from the Light Seers deck. Tell me more about this spiritual ascension with the Hierophant, Light Seers. Shed a light on the Hierophant. The Magician. We had this in the Capricorn reading the other day, the full moon in Capricorn one, and this was again about, this has also got links to the air signs. There is going to be when Uranus, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning with my plethora of astrological stuff, but when Uranus on the, what date is it going to happen? Is it on the 7th of July? I think it's on the 7th of July. So the 4th and the 7th, big days coming up astrologically. The 13th as well is when Saturn retrogrades back, I think. Anyway, I digress again. This is maybe talking about this grand trine. When Uranus moves into Gemini, it will create a grand air trine that's going to be very beneficial to, you know, Gemini, because the Uranus is moving into Gemini. Also Libra, we've got the moon in Libra right now as well, so it's like we're halfway point there to, you know, this happening. And Pluto in Aquarius, the 3 air signs, and this is going to cause this grand trine. And the Magician represents air signs, and it's about alchemizing and pulling from all sides of your energy. With it being a trine, I am getting this massive triangle energy, and in that Capricorn reading we had lots of, I was really noticing the triangles, so I think that's like, I'm thinking back to that now. But it was like there was a lot of things about pulling the energy up through the chakras to ascend, but also balancing and harmonizing and pulling from all elements of yourself, all elements of the arcana. So the cups, the emotion, the pentacles, the real life, groundedness, the earthiness. The emotions is the water as well in the arcana. The fire, our inspiration, our passion, and the air, the speed, the agility, the clarity. So using all our tools to harmonize and really get into our magic to make, you know, our journey happen. All of these planets right now are just, you know, aligning to try and set us on our new path, new earth, new version of self, new version of earth, and it wants us to be abundant. And this Neptune and Saturn retrograde, if you are not going to be, you know, decisively letting go of the things that you need to clear the path and pave the way for your better future version of yourself, the universe will find a way to clear it out for you. Okay, so without sounding like dreadful doom and gloom, because it will be for the better. It's where you're meant to be going. The universe doesn't want anything bad for you, never. It took a card away from the top when I took the book as well, so I'm pulling from Seasons of the Witch, Lammas Oracle, because we've been still riding in that kind of like solstice energy vibe. And we've got Garland. There is magic in the weaving of unity. Gorgeous. And I was just talking about unifying all those energies, bringing it into harmony, coming back into unity with yourself, with others, and with the universe, putting things back into their right cycle is what I'm getting. And weaving the magic, like on this card, is pulling the energy up and weaving it. Let's take one more. That one was a given, that one. Farm to table. That's gorgeous. They're having a bit of a union there, aren't they? Liberate yourself from influence and invoke the power within. And this is very much that what I was talking about at the beginning about, we've got this opposition today between the moon in Libra, wanting to be in right relationship, but then this argument, this tension of Saturn and Neptune being in Aries, and it's like, no, you need to choose yourself. You need to do the right thing for yourself. You need to take charge of your life. And yes, you want to be in harmony with others and everything else, but to really create that harmony, you need to, you know, look at yourself and look at what ideal version of reality you want. Are you just carrying on doing what you're doing to please others and to not go against the grain? And is it really fitting for you? Is it really bringing passion to you? And is it really for your highest and greatest good. And if you cannot say that, then can you really say it's for everyone around you's highest and greatest good either? Because you're not being, true to yourself. And that doesn't ever really go very well when we're trying to hold back and walk a false path, basically. And I'm going to take one, as we're still in Cancer season, from the Goddess Love Oracle, because let's get some Cancerian nurture all over this, because the whole of July has got this lovely nurturing instant card drop into take a step back and look after myself energy about it, with it being in Cancer. And we've got hope. Out of darkness comes the light. That's gorgeous. And that is very worth remembering throughout this retrograde season that we're going to have coming up all through July, that sometimes we need to go back into the darkness and process what's there in order to come into the light and stay in that light. We need to clear out everything so that we can truly ascend and stay there. I'm going to take one more. And it's given me an instant card again. Companionship. Universe wants you to know you are not alone in this. It's got your back. And if you're having, a difficult day, I've just turned over the deck and it's got compassion. Have compassion with yourself. If you're having a rough day, say, I've got this, the universe has got my back, and I am loved. And I am going into the light. Anyway, that is the reading, and it's lovely. And so while there might be some very interesting energies and big shifts coming up, you've got this. You've got this. That's it. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Maybe go and check out that Capricorn reading also. And I am going to go and bust out a half moon yoga flow. Bye. Hi, I'm just going to also pop a link in for that Capricorn-acopia reading that I did, that had a lot of the full moon energy coming up in it as well, and a lot of this stuff, I feel, so that you can easily find it. I'm going to put a link down in the description, so if you want to find that easily, then that's where you'll find it. Thank you. Bye.